Hello. Today's video I'm going to introduce before Nathan gets back. But today we're going to do My Husband Picks My TBR. So this is my physical TBR right now. I'm not including my ebooks because Nathan's currently using it to read his book and I don't want to interfere with his reading. So he is out right now, but when he gets back I'm going to go through these books, tell him what they're all about, and then he's going to pick 3 for me to read this week. And I'll read them and then I'll come back and tell him what I thought. I can guarantee you right now he's gonna pick Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson because that's the series he's reading right now. And I really hope I like it because it's hard for me to get into fantasy books, but we'll go through these when he gets back. Okay, Nathan's back, and so now we're gonna go through my physical TBR. I'm gonna read you the back or tell you what it's about, and then you're gonna pick 3. I have 12.
So fun.
Yeah, I'm not including the Kindle because you're reading on the Kindle. So, okay.
So tell me how it's going to work again. Are you going to tell me the book? Tell me what's like the summary, or do I just go off of the cover?
Don't go off the cover.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna give you a little synopsis of it.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, first book is Nothing But the Truth by Holly James. So. It's going to be her 30th birthday. Her boyfriend cancels last minute, and so she makes a wish for the perfect day. But when she wakes up the next morning, she realizes that she can only tell the truth.
Sounds very fun.
Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I don't know what this is about. The Mistress.
Should I give this a synopsis?
Go for it.
It's a fantasy book. It's a book about a world where there's the Lord Ruler. And he's been ruling for 1,000 years. And there is a little shake-up going on with this one guy, and he puts together a group to overthrow the king. It's a very classic, like, getting the gang together story. So that's automatically going to be one. When you guessed?
Yes. That's the only one I guessed. Okay. This is Meant to Be by Emily Giffin. It's a romance, I think, about 2 really rich people. It's giving Kennedys. I forget what they're about. Because the so-called Kingsley curse, like the Kennedy curse.
Hey. Okay.
Next we have Slammed by Colleen Hoover. I'm kind of out of my Colleen Hoover era, but I bought this during it. It's about 18-year-old whose father dies and is kind of becoming the person of the house, meets a 21-year-old whose passion for poetry, slam, thrills her.
Slam poetry?
Yeah. So I bought it in my Colleen Hoover era, and then I read slam poetry and I was like, Shatter Me. This is a fantasy book. This is no one knows why Juliet's touch is fatal. Okay, yeah, so if she touches you, you die. It's like Medusa with her fingers.
Kind of like that one, there's an X-Men that has like that.
Oh. I'm
blanking on her name.
I don't know. But it's the beginning of a series that's pretty highly rated. The Cartographers by Hang Shepard. It's about Nell, whose passion is cartography, and her dad made a map of a cheap gas station highway.
This is the one we bought in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I think I remember this.
Hawaii?
I remember reading this in the
you
Barnes &
remember what
Noble.
it's about?
Yes. This one looks good.
Okay.
It's a front runner.
My favorite, Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren. It's a friend group, and they all have a rule not to date. I think it's just her and boys in the group. And then they all decide that her and one of the guys, and then they decide they're better off platonic, and then all of them are like, let's all make dating profiles, and then,
Interesting.
Yeah. The Editor by Stephen Rowley. It's about a guy named James who's writing, an autobiographical novel, and this editor, who is Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, is kind of helping push it through, but they develop a friendship, and he realizes that there's a secret, and she might have different motives.
With Jackie Kennedy on the front?
Well, it's not Jackie Kennedy, but it's Jackie Kennedy.
Okay.
Six of Crows. This is part of a duology. This is the one Quinn recommended.
Yes.
It's a fantasy romance by Lee Bardugo. I haven't even read the back of this. A convict with a thirst for revenge, a sharpshooter who can't walk away from a wager, a runaway with a privileged past, a spy known as the Wraith, a heart-render, using her magic to survive the slums, a thief with a gift for unlikely escapes. Kind of sounds like Mistborn.
A little bit.
Two more, okay. Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score.
That's huge.
I know, this is like, I really want to read this, but also it's massive. But it's about,
But you'll still probably read it in a day.
It's about Naomi, who is running from her fiance, a church of well-wishers in her entire life. She goes to a small town and goes to meet up with her evil twin. And then she meets a bearded bad boy barber who doesn't get involved with high-maintenance women, especially not type A romantic ones.
Wow. That seems fun.
And then Carrie Soto Is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
It's a pretty book cover.
Yeah. It's about a tennis player who 6 years after retirement watches her record get broken and decides she's going to come back for one season to take the record back.
Cool.
Okay.
Which ones do I choose?
That's the whole point.
Well, no surprise here. I've wanted Kylie to read this for a while.
Fantasy's hard for me to get into.
I want you to read fantasy so that you can appreciate the romance when you go back to it.
There's romance now?
Well, I said appreciate the romance when you go back to it.
Oh.
No spoilers, though.
Okay.
I want you to read this one.
Okay.
Just because the cover's cool and I felt like I approved it in Barnes & Noble, so I feel like I'm
You already
double
picked this one out.
approving it again.
Look how small the words are.
That'll be good. You're gonna like that one too. That one has small print.
Oh! It's like a
long.
perfect like book in terms of floppiness and big pages, but the words are tiny. Can I write in it?
Sure.
Okay. One more.
Help you out.
It'll help me keep track.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get our whiteboard and keep track of all the people.
That'd be awesome. This one seems fun.
Okay.
Because it feels like
Favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren.
yeah. That one.
She's a good author. This is a very like non-serious,
low stakes,
low
but
stakes
everything
topic.
to gain.
Yeah. Love to gain. Okay, so these are the 3 books I'm gonna read this week. I'll read them and I'll check in with
This week, it took me like a month to read. Well, I'm a slower reader than you.
Well, you see, I'm planning on a week. I'll probably try to get Mistborn out of the way not out of the way, but like.
I get it. That's okay.
I'll probably read them in the order you picked them. Actually, it would make
It's
the most
anxiety
sense.
to me because I'm on the 2nd book of Mistborn, so it was like I have to finish the 2nd one if you're wanting to do it because that's what we did with Maze Runner series.
Oh, that was frustrating. At one point, this is how we were reading Maze Runner. So he was near the end, right here, and I wanted to start, so I was sitting here reading the front of the book, waiting for him to finish.
It's like a top 10 moment in our relationship.
Okay, and then when I'm done with all of them, we'll come back and I'll tell you what I rated them. So I won't tell you what I think.
Oh my goodness.
Until
I don't
then.
even get to hear like what you're thinking during your reading.
Only if I'm recording it,
Okay.
so that you can get your reaction too.
Okay.
Okay? Thanks, Bubs. Hi! So I quite literally just started Mistborn, and I can already tell you one of my pet peeves about fantasy. The only fantasy I've ever like really gotten into is books that I read in like middle school, like Harry Potter, Percy Jackson. I guess neither of those are fully even fantasy because they take place in the real world. Have I read a fantasy book before? I read Aragon.
Are you serious, my brother?
I don't know if I've ever read a fantasy book. Like a fully fantasy book. Okay, well, clearly I'm not experienced with fantasy. So the issue I'm already seeing for myself is it a word that I don't know, or is it a word that's it's unique to this world. Like when you read Harry Potter and you're like, is that wizard or is that British? It's kind of like that. And I don't want to Google things. But I was only 20% joking about the whiteboard. So I've already started. All I have is Lord Trusting and a red circle around him because I hate him already. And then ska, I think they're peasants or slaves. So this is like words I don't know that I'm sure are in the world, and then people. So hopefully I can keep track of everything. I'm literally on page 2 and I'm already like, pardon me? So, we'll see how this goes. The writing is tiny, but it is floppy, so the format balances itself out. I haven't read a lot. Well, I haven't read a lot today because I have been very busy, but I am literally 16 pages in, and that's how much I have. And I feel like it's not slowing down and introducing people, and it's jumping around. I have like terms I don't know. I have people that I wrote down and I don't know if I'm ever going to need to know them again, but also I don't want in like 200 pages for them to be like, oh, this person, and me to be like, who the hell is that? So we're trying over here. Okay, Nathan's here, so I'm...
You want me to hold it?
Yeah. This is what my whiteboard looks like at the moment. You can just put it down so we can go over it. I'm on page 78.
Goodness.
Okay. I'm probably just gonna speed this up for spoilers, but I thought it'd be cute.
It is cute.
Okay. It's like, how do you not know this stuff?
There is a dictionary in the back of it if you need to look at that.
Well, he mentioned 10 at one point, and then there's the 11th one, which is kryptonite. The gang's all here. I'm in love with him. I don't know what he can do. Probably nothing. Dead. Immortal. This idiot. And I will never forgive him. He had the nerve to talk to her!
I know.
I love ham. Maybe if you kept your mouth shut, you'd appear less stupid. And I don't know what that is. She's literally a mouse. The stranger looked at me and his gaze softened, and I was like, oh! I wrote, that's hot. Poop on my shoe. So. It's giving Percy Jackson Harry Potter. It's giving like a kid who's like apparently, like it's giving
I'm
Avatar.
the chosen one.
Yes, it's giving Avatar. And they're gonna overthrow the government. And he's kind of giving Spider-Man.
Yeah.
This is my thoughts so far.
Good thoughts.
Thanks, Angel. Okay. What does that sound? Okay. Another update. This is just going to turn into me reading Mistborn for 30 minutes, but I'm listening to it now on Audible at 2 times speed, so I'm pushing through it. I'm getting through it. I'm more than halfway through now. This is what my board looks like. It's growing complicated, but so far so good. I think listening to it has helped a lot. I've gotten through like almost 300 pages today just listening to it. I am in love with some of the characters. I won't say who, both because it might be spoilers and also because if they turn out evil, I don't want to be embarrassed. Nathan's trying so hard not to give me spoilers, but he gave me a look when I talked about somebody. That's the same look that I give people when they read the first Percy Jackson book and they're like, I love Luke. Spoiler alert. So I'm concerned. I'm deeply concerned. Anyways, that's the update.
How you doing?
Not well.
No.
I regret read like this over a fucking month. I'm so upset with you right now. I can't believe you made me read this. I've been crying for 3 hours. Oh wait, I have 30 minutes left. So, I finished Mistborn yesterday. Last time I talked to you, well, I guess last time you guys saw me, I think Nathan was recording me lose my mind about this book. It did tear my heart in a billion kajillion pieces. I'll give like a full review when we go over all the books. Nathan and I talked about it, but it was a very spoiler forward discussion. Here's my final, there might be spoilers on this board. I doubt you can actually see any of it, but just warning. Here's my final board for the book. It was actually super duper helpful. I would have lost, lots of more things would have gone over my head if I didn't have this. So, that being said, today I'm starting the next book. Oh, guess how long I listened to this book for yesterday? I got on Audible, 2.5 speed, 8 hours I listened to that. I've never audiobooked before, but it was really nice. It was nice because I could get lots of like chores done. But then when Ellen was in, who's my favorite character, I heard his name and I would sit down with my pen and like read along with it. So today I'm going to start my favorite Half a Night Stand by Christina Lauren. This one is thicker than I remember buying it at. It's probably around 300 pages, but Christina Lauren is very hit or miss authors for me. Like, she is my book display over there because Love and Other Words is a masterpiece. The Unhoneymooners was meh. The Honey Don't List was great. Something Wilder was just bizarre, to be honest. I was very confused by that book. Where are the other ones? Anyways, I'm excited. I like most of her books. This one just seems like a little silly kind of rom-com book. So yeah, starting that today. Okay, I just read this in one sitting, which is always either a really good thing or a really bad thing. In this case, it's a very bad thing. I did not, it's just not good. I don't know if I didn't read the back thoroughly enough or if I just figured it'd be okay because it also says perfect for fans of She's the Man, but I don't like catfishing. It says it on the back, so that's not a spoiler, but I don't know. I hate catfishing. And the second I realized that's what it was, I was like, this is basically irredeemable. I did finish it, but the main character is irredeemable. I just did not like her the whole time. The whole time it was bad. It was her and her 4 platonic friends, but then she falls for one of the friends, and it was just, it was very predictable, very basic, and I just don't think that they should be together. I think that she ruined it, and I hate when I finish a romance and I'm like, I hope they broke up right after this because it's not good. He's so sweet, and it's dual POV, so you get his point of view the whole time while he's being catfished, and he's an angel. So it's just like, why are we doing this to him right now? Okay, one more book. The Cartographers by Peng Shepherd. I think it's a thriller. This one, like, I read the back. It's an ode to science, history, and magic. A spectacularly imaginative modern story about an ancient craft in places still undiscovered. It sounds really very good. So hopefully it's better than that read. Quick check-in. I'm about 80 pages through The Cartographers. It's pretty interesting. Like, the actual plot is interesting, but it's just giving the vibes of like somebody's getting paid by the word, and so they're taking forever to say things. So it's very, I'm skimming quite a bit, but not like missing anything. Like, we get random like history lessons throughout it, which, I mean, maybe it'll come up later and I'll be lost, but so far, I'm not hooked yet. I feel like there was one point and already where I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. And then nothing since. I mean, I'm only 78 pages in, but it kind of started right away. Like, the first death was like the first page. So I was thinking it was gonna, but it's kind of, okay, I finished The Cartographers this morning. Unfortunately, Nathan's not here to go over all of the books right now because he's on a work trip, but we'll go over it when he gets back. This was good. I feel like I was able to talk to him about like Mistborn and stuff, so I'm gonna wait for him to get back to kind of go in more detail, but I need to process it before I rate it anyway because there's a lot happening. However, is this not the prettiest cover? I had another quick thought about The Cartographers. So I think I've mentioned before that I don't really try to solve mysteries or thrillers when I'm reading them. I'm just there for the ride, but I did figure out this big plot twist pretty early on, and as soon as I realized it, I was like, because if I'm reading a mystery to solve it, I like take notes and I mark clues and stuff. I was like, if I had been paying even a little bit more attention, I would have caught this in the first 3 chapters. So that's a little bleh.
A little taller. Beautiful.
Okay. Are you ready to hear my thoughts on the books you picked?
Let's hear it.
Okay, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Okay. Mistborn, I'm gonna give 5 stars.
Yay!
Really, really good. I do think the audiobook really helped me to like get through it because it was a lot happening and also nothing happening at the same time.
A lot of world building.
Yes. I will say, I think that this book is perfect the way that it is, and I don't know that I want it to be a series. I don't know if I'll read the next one.
I'll let you know when I'm done with it.
Yeah. It ends so perfectly. It's kind of like when we watched Chronicles of Narnia, and I was like, why is there a second one? This is a perfect story.
Yeah.
It's got a conclusion. Like, and didn't the author say, like, he had trouble?
In the, like, beginning of the second book, he's like, this has been one of the hardest books to, like, write.
Because he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like his agent was like, come on now. Okay. My favorite half-night stand, I'm giving 1.5 stars. I hated this book. I can't give it 1 star because 1 star means I DNF'd it, but it was just, she was so pick-me. She was like with all boys. She was like, pass me a beer. And I didn't know this. It was on the back. I don't know if I just didn't read the back all the way. But she catfishes him on the dating site. For
really
like a long time. Like while they're having sex, she's also catfishing him. And that's unadmissible in my court.
Fair enough.
And it's dual POV. So you get him like struggling with this girl that he's getting close to, but also his friend who he's like...
It's like good plot, bad writing.
Bad everything.
Okay.
The Cartographers, the more I sleep on it, I'm going to give it 4 stars. It didn't like... It's got to be special to be 5 stars. Like, I was surprised Mistborn was 5 stars just because it's honestly the first fantasy book I've read of my own volition. It wasn't even really of my own volition.
You cried.
I sobbed. So, like, yeah. Something like that has to happen for it to be 5 stars. This, when I first finished it, this isn't a spoiler because on the back it says magic, which I didn't pick up. But one thing I don't like about most thrillers, about thrillers in general, is if they bring in magic or the paranormal, like... House on the Lake by Riley Sager. I told you about that one. I was just like, you led up to this whole thing and then it's just...
It just feels like lazy writing.
It just feels like lazy writing. In this, as I've like thought about it, they set it up a lot. And then, I don't know, it's a really good story when I like sit back and think about it. Like, I feel like fresh out of the book, I was like, I feel like I feel like you wouldn't like it. I feel like Pop would like it. Like, it's very academia. And there are some parts that I was like skimming. And if I had gone into this trying to solve it, I think I could have solved it way sooner. So,
Nice.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Maybe they just set it up perfectly. Maybe she's just like good at forecasting, foreshadowing.
Similar
Vibes. But it is similar vibes. But I did like it. The story's good. The cover's good. I do feel that it's a very disconnected book. Like, it's almost like I'm a fly on the wall more than I know anything about the characters. Like, we had the main girl and the POVs of other people. Like, it was all over the place with POVs. But I was never, like, emotionally attached to anybody. It was truly like I was a fly on the wall watching them, not knowing anything about their brains. Which is why it's not 5 stars, because I wasn't very emotionally connected to it. But it was still, like, it's kind of like watching, like, a National Treasure kind of thing. Where it's like, the characters aren't super deeply developed, but you're just watching action all the time.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Cool. Good month.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everyone. What do they always do? They go, wah.